Okay, welcome back. This is the third topic, a very important topic, the misadventure. So, we are not talking about the misadventure that happened when he was a toddler of 3 or 4 years old. Another misadventure happened that had left a deep impact on his mind. We are going to talk about that. This is very important. So the introduction to the pool revived the narrator's unpleasant memories and stirred his childhood fears. Now we have to connect this to the previous topic. So in the previous topic we said when he was a child of 3 or 4 years old, he had a very unpleasant incident at the beach. Okay, so when he thought about learning swimming, and when he went to the swimming pool, that memory was stirred in his mind. And again, the fears came back into his life. Okay. But over some days, he overcame the fear by observing and imitating the actions of others who were swimming. But at the swimming pool, he spent time to observe other people, especially the young children, and he tried to imitate their actions and try to learn swimming. So by some time or some days, he was able to overcome that fear, and he was trying to learn swimming at the swimming pool. But a sad incident happened. So one day he went to the pool and found no one was there. He was early maybe at the swimming pool, and he observed that the swimming pool was empty. There was nobody there. Okay, so he being frightened of water, suffering from hydrophobia, he did not go alone into the swimming pool. He was timid about going alone into the swimming pool. He could not go swimming all alone because of that prevalent, you can say, fear in his mind. So what did he do? He sat on the side of the pool and waited for others to come so that he could join them and swim with the others. The presence of other people would give him some encouragement, okay, and confidence to go into the pool. So he sat there and waited for others to come. But what happened is, just then a big boy of 18 came in and picked him up, and the narrator picked the narrator up and threw him into the deep end of the pool. So how deep was the deep end? 9 feet, right? So a big boy of 18, the narrator was 9 or 10 years old at that time. An 18-year-old boy came, picked the narrator up and threw him into the deep end of the swimming pool. So imagine if you were the narrator, how would you feel at that time? Okay? So Douglas landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom. He was not even prepared to go into the swimming pool, and all of a sudden that weak boy picked him up and threw him into the water. So because of that, he landed on the water in the sitting position, and then he swallowed water which would have suffocated him, and at once he started drowning to the bottom of the water. So it's a very frightening experience for this young boy. Okay, but still Douglas has the presence of mind to think that he could still save himself. Douglas tried to save his life. How? The narrator was extremely frightened, but not out of his mind. What the writer is saying is, even though he was very frightened, but still the narrator maintained the presence of his mind. He could still think logically. Okay, so because of that, what did he do? He made a plan to save himself. So he thought, now I'm in danger, my life is in danger, and I myself has to help and save myself. So for that, he thought of a plan or a strategy to save himself. So this strategy is very important. Please pay attention. What was his strategy or plan? So even though he was frightened, he was thinking about the plan. That means his mind was still alert. So this is his strategy. He thought when his feet hit the bottom of the swimming pool, he would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it and paddle to the edge of the pool. So this was his strategy. So this is the plan that he formed in his mind. He decided to kick the bottom of the water, come up to the surface, lie flat, and then swim away to the edge of water and save his life. So we can say it's a good plan for a young boy of 10 years old. But did this plan actually happen? Was he able to use the plan? However, the 9 feet down seemed more like 92 poor Douglas. So he was just 10 years old, and the 9 feet deep water looked like 92 him. Okay? So he was totally out of breath when his feet touched the bottom. He went down, and when he touched the bottom of the swimming pool, he has lost his breath. He became breathless because it was very deep for a young boy. Still, with all his strength, he made a spring upwards. But still, he has the presence of mind, and he knew that he has to save himself. So he kicked the bottom of the water with all of his strength and tried to spring up, jump up, come up over the surface as he had planned. But sadly, he came up slower than he thought. He has now used up all his energy. So because of that, coming over the surface was slower than he thought. He could not come over the surface, and he was now starting to suffocate. He opened his eyes and saw nothing. Then he opened his eyes to see where he was heading towards. But the only thing that he saw was water and nothing else. Now that started to frighten him. Okay? So he started to panic, and he was suffocating and tried to yell, but no sound came. Okay? So now he panicked. He was completely, you can say, surrounded by water, and that filled him with fear, and he now thought that his end was coming. So because of that, he was also feeling suffocated. So because of that, out of fear and fright, he tried to yell for help. But sound did not come from his mouth because he was surrounded by water. So that was a very frightening experience. Okay. Again, with this we come to the end of the topic, and you should answer these 2 questions. Okay. What was the misadventure at the YMCA pool that the narrator describes? Describe the narrator's fight to stay alive. Write answers to these 2 questions, or you can even discuss with your parents or siblings to practice your speaking. And thank you. We'll continue.